Hello, hello. You survived it then? The full moon, the eclipse? I sometimes think to myself, am I going to survive it? How much more can this poor old lady take? Because some of it is getting pretty intense, don't you agree? I suppose it's different for everybody, but for me, I've got a lot more to go through. I've been at it for 40 years. I have, believe me or not. I've been at it for 40 years. But this has got, I don't know. I have to cope with that. I can't say no to it. I did read somewhere that we are all being protected. That apparently consciousness is looked after. There must be something looking after us, to measure things. And when you've got enough light, then more stuff's put in. So we are looked after. I had a very strange dream. I'm going to start off with a little story. This is a silly little story, but it'll get your attention. I've just run out of washing up liquid. Now, I've never done that. And it isn't really a disaster, except it probably is, because you can't wash up without some sort of bubbles. And my mind went racing back to my childhood, a long time ago. We didn't have washing up liquid then. We didn't have washing machines. We didn't have fridges. We didn't have any of the stuff we have now. So this washing up thing was quite a saga. I can remember there being like a little gadget. It was like a little cage that you could open up, and you put all your bits of soap in, and you had a handle on it, and you swished it in the water, and hopefully the bits of soap would release enough froth to wash the dishes. Where that memory came from? Well, it was because now I still keep little bits of soap just in case. And I thought, isn't a memory, I don't know, I think this full moon is in Scorpio, so it's about, although some people say it's in Taurus, it's in both really, but some people say it's in the past. It's bringing up the past. I think it's clearing out. Scorpio is about the deep, deep, deep self, and it's bringing out all the stuff that we've probably forgotten about, to be looked at and cleansed out and all that stuff, and I've been through quite a lot of past life stuff. I can remember seeing myself, this is what's triggered me off this video. It's really weird. The memories have been coming up, and it was so clear. I'm not really clairvoyant, but this was so clear. Seeing myself standing on the pavement in Bristol, where I used to live, by the Victoria Rooms, in the most beautiful pink dress, day dress. I loved myself in that dress. Oh, that's what it's about. Self-love. Just come to me then. That's what it's about. I just loved myself in that pink dress, and I was standing on my own thinking, and I could remember what I was thinking. Where is everybody? Why isn't this person here that I meant to be meeting? And I look so lovely, da 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 da. I remember the very thoughts I had at this, 50 years ago, probably, I don't know. And then of course things began to move after that. One thing after another came up, and I thought, wow, this is really interesting. And stuff I didn't know, boyfriends, girlfriends, silly stuff. Nothing really important, just silly stuff. And then I had this dream. I got worried. I'm thinking, where is the mind? I mean, of course you can't understand this stuff. It's too vast a subject, but where am I, where is this, and I go down this questioning, which drives me nuts. And I suddenly had a dream about two computers. Now I was on one of the computers, busy, and it was quite a complex thing I was working out, and there was somebody else on the other computer, and I got very angry with this person. I know what it's about now. It's suddenly coming to me just talking to you about it, and I was very angry. She tried to hack into my computer, and everything all went shh. And I thought, wow, that's a bit scary, because of course the computer represented my mind. Computers, I can remember many years ago talking to one of the masters, and I was very worried, how much can the mind cope with? And I got this picture of several computers. The mind it can cope with so much. And I know I worry, because I suppose I'm getting older, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to get dementia or anything like that, and I'm thinking, I make sure that I do have something to think about. But this was a little bit, I was overwhelmed, obviously. And then suddenly all these bits of gold came in. Now I think that was healing the bits that I had let go of, if you know what I mean. And I sort of came to in a rush and rushed out of the bedroom and frightened. I was a bit frightened. I've never been frightened, but that did shake me. I think anything to do with the mind, you know, anything to do with the mind's a bit scary, isn't it? I just had to tell myself I was in the close mind, and that no harm would come to me. And I have read since in one of my books that what happens is, you know, your consciousness is being monitored. Apparently by the higher things, they monitor your consciousness. And when you have got enough consciousness and enough light, they're able to put more in. So it's carefully monitored. So this was the fear, I think, because it was so different and so unusual. But it was a very strange thing, and all these irrelevant memories, you know, irrelevant, totally irrelevant. And I went right back to, well, early, but then of course, I think the Course of Miracles, Joshua says, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. And that's true, I found that. Any of the good memories, the happy times, the good things, they are always there. They're going to always be there forever and ever. But all the other stuff, the negative, the hurtful, the painful, will eventually dissolve, I think. I hope it does anyway. So the full moon is about really delving deep within and shedding all the irrelevant stuff. I don't know if anyone's found that. I always think that I go through these things on my own. I'm sure I don't, because we don't talk about that. I don't have anyone around here to talk about. Well, Christmas is coming, isn't it? I'm dreading it. I don't have Christmas. Last year was the last year I'm doing a Christmas tree, because I can't lift them anymore. I can't lift it in, can't lift it out. I've got no one to ask. So as you get older, you see, you have to have someone to help you, or you have to have the money to pay somebody. And I've got to have a new fridge, because the fridge is worn out. And I had a bit of a windfall with some money from the government, because I'm an old lady. I thought, oh, I can buy a new fridge. I thought, how am I going to get the fridge off the surface down to take it out and put the new one in? I've got no one to ask. The last time I bought a microwave, this is totally irrelevant, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Bought a microwave, I got a chair, I pulled it off the shelf onto the tray, dragged the chair out to the car so I could put it in the car. And when the new one came, got the man to deliver it just on the surface, and then I had to. So people don't realise, you know, when you get older, life does get more difficult, because you don't have the energy, really, and life goes on. You have to lift, and you know, I've always said this to God, it's all very well being a woman on her own, but a man has the energy and has the strength. Although some women are good at lifting stuff, I'm not. So this is my dichotomy at the moment. How much more do I go on my own without help? Because I'm getting more difficult. My knees seized up yesterday on the pavement. I went into town to do something, and I got out of the car. I thought, oh, it's not too bad. I've got this arthritis, as you know. I thought, it's not too bad. I can probably get out of the car and just walk the short distance. And I got out of the car. I seized up. So embarrassing. People would stop and say, you all right? You all right? No, I'm not all right. I can't move. What I must do is to keep some massage cream in my bag so I can massage. Once you get the muscles moving, you can just about move. And I was limping along. What's going to happen to me? You know, what is going to happen to me if I can't get in and out of my car and walk a short distance? I'm really quite concerned about it. I don't know, I've got 2 paths to go down. I either stay here all day on my own watching Netflix, or make a huge effort and get out of the car and risk seizing up in the high street. So we're not having Christmas. I'm going to tell you a funny story before I go. It's a bit of a mixed bag today, isn't it? I'm trying to cheer you up, probably. I expect some of you are feeling a bit down after this horrendous full moon. It's over now. We had the final fling today. I have a final fling because I felt a lot of pain. I thought, that's it. It's worked its way out now. It's worked its way out. subconscious, conscious pain, da da da, and now it'll be gone for a little while. So this funny story is a Christmas story, really. I have to tell it to you. Well, when I used to go down to, I'd not long left my husband and I was spending Christmas on my own. And I'd been down to a friary, Franciscan, the friars, not friar tugs. For a weekend retreat, and the chap there was a gardener. We got on really well, and he was saying about Christmas. I said, well, you could come and spend it with me. Don't do that. Do not do that with strange men or strange women, believe me. Do not invite strangers into your home. And he turned up the day before Christmas smelling of drink. Well, he got the train up and he's carrying some logs for the fire, and I thought, oh no, what have I done? He'd already been on the bottle on the train, I suppose. Well, we got through that night, which was Christmas Eve, and I could see what he really wanted to do, what he wasn't going to. So I gave him a duvet and I went into my bedroom and locked the door. Well, the next day, my ex-husband came with my daughter to bring my presents. It was a very difficult day because I was on my own, you see, and this man was sitting in the back room. He's sitting there. Well, obviously he couldn't join in, so he was sitting in the back room. So my ex-husband and daughter got the presents out and we had a lot of chat. It was all very difficult. And they went, and this man, I found him paralytic. He'd gone through my sideboard and got through every bottle of drink in it. Creme de menthe, whiskey, this, that. I used to have drink in those days, and he was paralytic. I don't know what to do with him. I think he sobered up enough. He walked out in the end. He just walked out and left me sitting there with all these empty bottles, and I think he walked out. So I assume he got back all right. I think he did, because I saw him not long after that. But this is one of my disasters of inviting strange people into my home. I've done it before. I've done it several times on my birthday, or I've met them in supermarkets and chatting them up. Not women as well, I mean. So I've always desperate. I suppose it's desperate for company, really, isn't it? It's silly because no company is better than one company. But anyway, he filled the day in, and one of my mistakes. Right then, darlings, I'm going to go. I'm not sure you'll enjoy the video. It's been a right mess, to be honest. I'm still a bit frail after the full moon. So anyway, it's just this and that. You take care of yourselves. God bless. I've got to find this thing now. Oh, this thing is a nuisance.